What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So, local four-star wide receiver Xavier Jordan, I believe he's at Sarah Canyon, pretty local SoCal school, which is coming up. Pretty good program, especially their football, but I think they're more known for their basketball because of like Bronny James and a couple other players that have been drafted recently from there and are doing well in the NBA and in college. But yes, apparently yesterday kind of made more official during his Under Armour camp that he was at. I think it was like a 7-on-7 tournament, but he did officially announce today, this morning on Monday, that he is committed to the 2024 class. As a four-star wide receiver right now, he has a chance to move up. I think he is already a top 100 player in the overall ranking, so that's pretty nice. Definitely has a chance to move up. I'm pretty sure because even their USC's loan commitment, the tight end Joey Olsen, had already moved up like 40 to 50 something spots up already from where he was even when he committed to USC. So overall, it is a nice get because even though it's the second commitment in next year's recruiting class, it already jumped USC's up ranking to like the number 18 or something. They're definitely like a top 25 team overall. I kept remember showing you guys that every single time they had a new rankings come out, USC wasn't on there for the 2024 class, and everyone else has so many guys already. But like I said, they already made it. Only 2 guys, and they're already top 20, it seems like. So who knows how far they're going to move up already once they get a couple more guys committed, which could be happening sooner rather than later. But either way, a lot of good official visits coming up soon too. But yes, definitely looking forward to the future of USC. Definitely looks like a pretty good guy. I saw a couple of his highlights even at that tournament as well yesterday. It looked pretty good too. So now moving on to the NFL draft and looking at a couple of guys that were drafted from USC. Starting with the defensive lineman Tuli Tuipulotu, went to my beloved LA Chargers in the second round. I think 54, 50, something like that. That was pretty cool. It was a nice surprise. The Chargers definitely needed some help on their defensive line, especially with a couple aging guys like Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. Obviously, Bosa is a bit younger than Mack, but I think this was kind of like a safety piece because Mack's contract is pretty high the next year or two. So if the Chargers decide to get rid of him after this year, or if not work out a deal, then, you know, Tuli will at least have 1 year under his belt in the NFL. And him not having to come in right away and be the number one dude, I think it's definitely going to help him out a lot. And he gets to learn from a couple of great defensive linemen in all of NFL history. So that's pretty cool, in my opinion. So definitely very happy for him right now. And then obviously in the third round, one of the last picks that Friday night, the Minnesota Vikings double dipped on another USC player, ended up picking up the cornerback Mekhi Blackman. Want to get his number correct. He was selected 102 overall in the third round to Minnesota. So that was pretty awesome. Definitely very excited for him. I think what really got him drafted by the same team that drafted his wide receiver, his practice buddy, was because in practice, apparently they always went up against each other, the ones versus the ones. And he said every time like he had a rep, or he saw that Addison was getting a rep, who was the first wide receiver that they took, he said he wanted to play against him and practice against him to try to better himself. And obviously USC sent that practice tape out to Minnesota. They liked it and drafted him pretty high. I know in a lot of the mock draft systems and everything like that, he was getting selected pretty late. Even like a couple days before, he was like selected in the 7th round. But he obviously has a lot more talent than that. So definitely very happy for him. Could have happened to a better guy. So good luck to him in that defense. That I know they definitely need some help as of late. And then the very soon guy that it happened for a bit, so they had to wait a while for their 4th guy to finally get selected. And that was Andrew Voorhees, selected by the Baltimore Ravens at number 229 in the 7th round. Obviously, Voorhees would have been selected that Friday day in the 2nd or 3rd round, but suffered that really bad ACL injury, which doesn't technically seem to be too bad because he was already working out pretty hard like a week before the draft. But they were able to see how strong he was and strong-minded that he was. They had a lot of good things to say about him after they drafted him. And they pretty much believe that he's going to be a 1-year sit project, so they don't think he's going to be able to play at all this year. He might have a chance to play if they end up going pretty far into the playoffs. But either way, it's a nice situation for him, especially because Lamar Jackson re-signed a contract there, so he's going to be sticking around as well, blocking for him. So it's obvious that he's going to be in a nice spot, nice productive area for him. Just got to block for a really fast dude for a couple seconds, and he's going to take off. So just do your job for a bit. It's a good workout for him. And I think going into the undrafted guys, a couple more, I think like 4 to 5 USC players were put on teams after the draft. So running back Travis Dye was picked up by the New York Jets. Nice place for him. I definitely think you can make 3rd or 4th string, depending on how many running backs they want to carry. He definitely doesn't deserve to be in a practice squad. I think he could definitely make that roster, especially if he's healthy enough and has the opportunity to in that system. So definitely looking forward to that. Then when it comes to another undrafted guy, Brandon Peely, the defensive lineman, who we've been like pretty much underwhelmed by because he hasn't really performed as good as he could, but he did get picked up by the Miami Dolphins, and they guaranteed a certain part of that contract, so they definitely believe he has a chance to make that roster as well. So that's pretty good news for him. And then, as I mentioned, Terrell Bynum to the Chargers, and then Bobby Haskins, the offensive lineman for USC, got picked up by the Chicago Bears. So it's a pretty good spot for him. Obviously, they need help. They're a young and up-and-coming team, and the only thing I didn't like about Haskins is he is a talented player, but there seemed to be something wrong with that shoulder, because every single time it looked like he was doing good, then all of a sudden he went out with like some type of stinger in his shoulder, and it sucked because he was obviously pushing himself to play. And I think even towards the end of the season, he kind of really wasn't playing that much. But overall, if he's 100% healthy, I think he could definitely help out that Chicago Bears team, in my opinion. That's pretty much it for the USC undrafted guys and all the guys that were selected in the draft. So congrats to all of them, and definitely look forward to seeing how they do in the near future. Hopefully get some more playing time and showing some good stats, so we will see. And then speaking of a future USC linebacker, Kingston Viliamu-Asa, one of the local products here from St. John Bosco, recently released a top 3 overall of his teams that he's still going to be interested in. Actually, the final 3. And it looks like it's going to be USC, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. Kind of understand, because Ohio State always has top linebackers. I can understand why he has them in the top 3, USC as well, plus they're a local school. And then pretty much when Manti Te'o went to Notre Dame, a lot of Polynesian, Hawaiian players usually like to look at Notre Dame as well. And plus they produce some good linebackers here and there, but overall I think that's the main reason why. But I think if he were to decide today, it might be Ohio State, but I hear USC does have a really good chance to be able to get him once the official signing days happen later in the year. So definitely looking forward to that, because he's one of the top priorities for Coach Odom, the linebackers coach here at USC. So hopefully that he does end up getting this really talented SoCal product. Hoping for the best. And then a 5-star player who was enrolling at the University of Texas, Ron Holland, apparently is looking to get released from his letter of intent, kind of like how Mackenzie Mbaku of Duke was released. So it's another really talented 5-star player. I remember him during the circuit of the All-American games and some of the Team USA stuff, and he looked pretty good too. So I would not mind him joining up to Duke for at least 1 year if he wanted to. That's going to be a little bit crowded unless he wants to come to USC. There's still going to be a lot of room, because apparently a lot of people have been leaving too in the transfer portal. So it will be a nice welcome addition to maybe him and Bronny James in the near future. Never know, but we will see. When it comes to the Lakers, yes, the other day, I believe it was Friday, they were playing getting a little bit ahead of myself. They were playing the Memphis Grizzlies in Game 6 at home in LA, and they were able to get that victory 125-85. So they were able to win by 40. Pretty much had a 30-point lead, if not plus, around the end of the third quarter, and they were able to even rest LeBron and Anthony Davis in the whole fourth quarter. They never came in. So it was really awesome. I think Dylan Brooks, the main guy who's been agitating LeBron James, or poking the bear, as they say, he said that he won't respect anybody until they drop 40 points. That player drops 40 points on him. But, the Lakers did win by 40 in the game that sent you home. So I guess that should be enough, right? Maybe a little less trash talking from him when it comes to the Lakers. But yeah, overall it was a great performance, especially by D'Angelo Russell, a guy who I have been up and down with, but he did show up, had like 31 points. I want to get that correct, yeah. Had like 5 3-pointers, 4 assists as well, so he definitely got hot pretty late, going like second and third quarter, which helped them build that lead so they didn't have to come back out with their main guys. But yeah, overall great victory, and plus it gave them time to rest up so they did not have to play the Game 7 Sunday, who actually their opponents had to play yesterday in Sacramento and Golden State. That was a really good game until Steph Curry said, all right, time to end this with the youngins, and pretty much dropped a 50-pointer on them to clinch that game series winning game for them. So now the next round it will be the Lakers versus Golden State, and obviously people love this matchup when it's LeBron versus Curry. I think it's the 5th time maybe it's happened. So usually it was just always in the finals, but now it's in the semifinals, so it'll be pretty interesting. I know Klay Thompson already said he's been waiting his whole entire 12-year NBA career to finally play against the Lakers and be able to knock us out. So I guess that's some already bulletin material for the LA Lakers. But yeah, overall it's gonna be a crazy series. I know, speaking of Thompson, he did struggle in that game yesterday. Draymond Green is Draymond Green, so you don't really worry about him scoring, just him playmaking. And of course Curry went off, and they only get a day and a half of rest because then the games start on Tuesday night, and it's gonna be in Golden State, yeah, because they are barely a little bit better in the seeding than the Lakers. But it's also a good thing kind of for both teams because they don't have to travel out of state either. It's just like an hour flight either way, and you're still in the same time zone, so it could benefit both. But it definitely has been helping the older Lakers because they have been resting since Friday, so they better come out good, especially Anthony Davis. I think he's the key. They will go as far as he will go, and I know when he was with the Pelicans, he did really well against Golden State in the playoffs. He averaged quite a bit of points and stuff, so hopefully he can dominate again. LeBron can chip in here and there to be able to get the official win, and hopefully the Lakers can advance, because I know the other series, Denver and Phoenix, they're going to beat each other up, and those are the 2 better teams, in my opinion, that are still left on the West side. So either way, it's going to be a pretty interesting semifinals on each side. Definitely looking forward to it. Nice playoff basketball coming at you, so we will see. And to end off with some miscellaneous news, yes, Travis Barker recently said in an interview or a comment that he said the new Blink-182 album would be and should be done officially, at least the recording part of it, before they head out on tour, which actually is happening pretty soon. So I'm assuming the music will be done and going out to be pressed and whatever they call it, mastered and mixed, but who knows when it will be officially be able to be bought. Usually that might happen a month or 2, maybe a little bit more after. It might be pushing it to be a summer hit, so who knows. But I'm pretty sure they will still be going on in their long North American tour at that time either way. But it would be kind of weird for them to go out on tour and not have new music to play. So maybe and hopefully we will get a new single by that time, because we've only heard 1 single so far from this record. But hoping for the best, looking forward to it. They say it's the best work they've ever done, so we will see. They always seem to say that, but be an optimist here about the new music. And when it comes to another final miscellaneous thing, apparently there is a report out there. It's not official yet, I don't think, but everyone kind of assumed when Mila Kunis, the actress, was meeting with Matt Shakman, the guy who will be directing and writing the new Fantastic Four movie for Marvel, that she was maybe going to be in the running for Sue Storm, which is not that bad. She's a good actress, but apparently it's come out that they might be actually casting her for The Thing, which is pretty funny. It's different, but you know, people are already going crazy because The Thing is a guy, but really The Thing is like an alien rock. Really, it's not really 100% dude. So I kind of understand the difference, just to get a good actor in there. Either way, I don't mind it. I think it could be kind of interesting. But that's the way they want to go. That's the way they want to go. It might be the less money-making movie that Marvel's ever had, but I'll definitely check it out to see what they can do. But either way, there's nothing wrong with change. It's just, don't go too overboard with change, I guess. Either way, but we will see. It looks pretty interesting either way. It's not 100% official. Like I said, I will most likely get crap for this, whatever I'm saying, because people like to construe and take things out of context and not really read and understand or watch the whole entire video. But that's just how people are. They're dumb. So either way, still looking forward to it no matter what ends up happening. But either way, it's a pretty interesting thing overall. So yeah, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Fight on.